Hi, I'm Jenna, licensed counselor and owner here at Central Texas Child and Family Counseling. In this video, I'll be sharing a brief overview of boundaries for the early childhood years. Hi, parents. According to Brene Brown, boundaries are finding a way to be generous toward others while continuing to lead with integrity and staying true to yourself. Setting boundaries means prioritizing your needs and practicing self-care without feeling guilty. As caregivers, it's first and foremost to understand that practicing healthy boundaries with ourselves comes first. If we don't understand how to prioritize boundaries for us, boundaries are those invisible lines that tell others what's okay and what's not okay, then we're going to have trouble with boundaries and we're going to have trouble parenting with boundaries with our kids. So what I first want to encourage is that you work on you because it's going to ultimately help your family and help your child. But in this video, we're going to focus on exploring the concept of boundaries for young children and how they relate to a method that we use a lot in our practice, which is trust-based relational intervention, or TBRI. Boundaries, when it comes to kids, are like guardrails to help your child feel safe and understand what's expected of them. At this stage of early child development, children need clear, consistent limits delivered with connection and compassion. Early childhood is a time of exploring and learning, and setting boundaries helps children feel secure as they navigate their world. When boundaries are firm but nurturing, they teach children that rules are not about control, but they're about care. At this stage, it's also crucial for laying the groundwork for healthy relationships and self-control. Boundaries provide predictability, they reduce anxiety in your child, and they prevent power struggles. Boundaries also create opportunities for you to model and teach emotional regulation, a skill that your child is going to need as they develop and grow. So let's talk about ways that you as a parent can implement boundaries with your young child. Number one, set clear expectations with your child. Use simple language like, "We keep our hands to ourselves," to set limits. Number two, stay calm and consistent. When boundaries are tested, it's common for us to feel triggered and to get upset, but we want to remain calm, so we need to be mindful of our emotions. And we want to respond to our child in a calm way. "I see that you're upset, but throwing toys is not okay." So we want to say it just sort of like a fact. "I see that you're upset, throwing is not okay." Instead of, "Don't you throw things, you know better than that." That's just kind of escalating the problem. And then you want to let your child know what you want to do or help them problem solve. So you could say something like, "Let's figure out another way to show how you feel." Another tip for setting boundaries is to offer choices within limits. You want to give your child some shared power. And so you want to empower them by giving your child options, but you also want to have some limits within the options or offer options that you're okay with. So you could say something like, "You can pick up your toys now," or "I can help you in 5 minutes. What's your choice?" Now, sometimes when parents give choices and we're trying to set boundaries, we can sometimes make a choice, essentially a consequence. You can pick up your toys now, or you can go to your room without dessert. And really, that's not giving children two choices while setting a boundary. It's essentially a threat. So thinking about alternative ways, ultimately the toys need to be picked up, but you want to offer some choices within those limits, because that shared power is going to relieve some of the tension that your child is possibly going to resist against. And ultimately, the goal is not to get our way. The goal is for your child to understand healthy boundaries and to have changed behavior for what you're wanting, or to learn and develop that skill. So let's talk about a practical example. If your child is grabbing toys from their sibling, you might say, if you're setting boundaries, Hey, I know you want that toy, but we take turns. You can have it when your brother or your sister is done. Let's find another way to play. Let's find another toy to play with while you wait. So this approach reinforces boundaries. You want that, but right now that's not for you. And then it's also showing empathy. You're understanding what the child is wanting, and then you're also providing some alternative choices. So this type of parenting takes a little bit more intention, a little bit more thought, and a lot of parental mindfulness. And that's where we can make sure that we're practicing our own boundaries and we're aware of our own triggers and our responses with our kids. And parents, there are many resources that can help you. If this is an area you want to grow more in, there are many excellent books to help you with understanding boundaries in a healthy way with your child. We recommend Boundaries with Kids by Dr. Cloud and Dr. Townsend. I can also recommend The Whole Brain Child, written by Dr. Dan Siegel. And we have many articles and free resources on our website, which is gtowncounseling.com. If you go up to the top resources for parents, there's a list of many articles that dive further into this concept and have some tools for you. But again, this is just a quick overview, and thank you so much for being here to watch this. This video is not a substitute for therapy. So if you have more specific questions, if you have more needs for your child or for your family, please talk to your child's therapist here at Central Texas Child and Family Counseling. We are here to help.